My neighbor Margaret was 67 when she had her first stroke. Sharp as a tack one day, and the next, struggling to remember her grandchildren's names. When her doctor reviewed what she'd been eating, he went pale. Margaret, he said, these canned foods in your pantry, they're like time bombs. She thought she was eating healthy, convenient, easy. But those five innocent looking cans were slowly poisoning her body with something doctors call the silent agers. And if you're over 60, there's a very good chance they're sitting in your kitchen right now. What I'm about to show you could add years to your life, but only if you listen to the end. I'll never forget the conversation I had with Dr. Stevens last month. He's been practicing for over 35 years, and he told me something that sent chills down my spine. He said, the biggest mistake I see in my patients over 60 isn't what they're not eating, it's what they think is perfectly safe. That hit me hard because I realized we've all been conditioned to trust those shiny cans in our pantries. They're convenient, they last forever, and honestly, they feel like the smart choice when you're living on a fixed income or just don't want to waste food. But here's the truth nobody's telling you. After 60, your body changes in ways you can't see. Your kidneys don't filter toxins like they used to. Your heart becomes more sensitive. Your blood pressure, it's like a ticking clock that responds to everything you put in your mouth. And those five canned foods I'm about to reveal, they're specifically dangerous for your age group. So let me walk you through this, not as a lecture, but as a conversation. Like we're sitting at your kitchen table and I'm showing you what's really inside those cans. I know. You're probably thinking, but soup is healthy. It's warm, it's comforting. My mother used to make it for me when I was sick. And you're right, homemade soup is healthy. But canned soup, that's a different story entirely. Let me paint you a picture. One can of popular chicken noodle soup contains over 2,200 milligrams of sodium. That's more salt than you should have in an entire day. And here's what happens in your body when you're over 60. Your blood vessels have already lost some of their elasticity. They're not as flexible as they were at 40 or 50. When you flood your system with that much sodium, your blood pressure spikes and it stays elevated. Day after day, can after can, you're forcing your heart to work harder than it should. Dr. Stevens told me about a patient, a sweet woman named Dorothy, 72 years old, who ate canned soup for lunch every single day because it was easy. She ended up in the emergency room with a hypertensive crisis. Her blood pressure was 210 over 115. She could have had a stroke, all from something she thought was harmless. The alternative? Make a big batch of homemade soup on Sunday, freeze it in portions, or choose low sodium versions, and even then, only occasionally. Now, I can already hear you saying, wait, vegetables are supposed to be good for us. And they are. Fresh or frozen vegetables are wonderful. But canned vegetables, they're soaking in a salt bath. Here's the thing most people don't realize. When you're over 60, you need more nutrients, not less. Your bones need calcium, your muscles need potassium, your nerves need magnesium. But canned vegetables with added salt throw everything off balance. That excess sodium doesn't just raise your blood pressure, it actually pulls calcium out of your bones. It makes your body flush out potassium, the very mineral that protects your heart. It's like you're trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. I spoke with a woman named Helen last week. She's 68 and she'd been eating canned green beans with dinner every night. They're vegetables, she told her doctor. But her bone density scan showed early osteoporosis. The sodium was literally leaching the strength from her bones. The solution is simple. Buy frozen vegetables. They're picked at peak freshness, frozen immediately, and they have no added sodium. Or rinse your canned vegetables thoroughly under cold water. You'll remove about 40% of the salt. This one surprised me too. Fish is brain food, right? Omega 3s for your heart. Yes, but there's a dark side to canned fish that doctors are increasingly worried about, especially for seniors: mercury and something called BPA. When you're younger, your body can handle small amounts of mercury. But after 60, your kidneys and liver are working at about 60 to 70% of their original capacity. They can't clear toxins as efficiently. So, mercury builds up in your brain, in your nervous system. I'll never forget what happened to my uncle Robert. He was 65, eating canned tuna sandwiches almost every day because he heard it was heart healthy. He started getting tremors in his hands, memory problems. His doctor ran tests and found elevated mercury levels. And BPA? It's the chemical in the can lining. It mimics estrogen in your body and has been linked to heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers, all conditions you're already more vulnerable to after 60. What should you do instead? Choose wild caught salmon or sardines in BPA free cans and limit it to twice a week maximum. Better yet, fresh fish when you can get it. Beans are protein powerhouses. They're cheap, filling, and loaded with fiber. So, what's the problem? Regular canned beans are drowning in sodium. A single can of black beans can have 1,300 milligrams of salt. That's insane when you think about it. But here's the sneakier issue. When you're over 60, many of you are already on medications: blood pressure pills, diuretics, maybe even heart medications. These drugs are trying to balance your sodium and potassium levels very carefully. Then you eat a can of beans, and suddenly your medication can't keep up. Your ankles swell, you feel bloated, your blood pressure creeps up despite taking your pills faithfully. I know a gentleman named Frank, 71 years old, who couldn't figure out why his blood pressure medication wasn't working anymore. His doctor asked him to keep a food diary. Turns out he was eating canned chili made with canned beans 3 times a week. All that hidden sodium was sabotaging his treatment. The fix? Buy dried beans and cook them yourself. I know it takes longer, but you can make a huge batch, freeze portions, and you'll have them ready whenever you need them. Or at minimum, rinse canned beans thoroughly and choose no salt added versions. This last one breaks my heart because so many seniors think they're making a healthy choice. Fruit is nature's candy, right? Vitamins, antioxidants, fiber. But when it's swimming in heavy syrup, it becomes something else entirely: a sugar bomb. After 60, your body doesn't process sugar the way it used to. Your insulin sensitivity decreases. Your pancreas can't keep up. And all that sugar in canned fruit is not just empty calories, it's inflammation. It's increased diabetes risk. It's weight gain that's harder to lose than it was 20 years ago. I have a friend, her name is Carol, she's 66, who ate canned peaches every morning with her oatmeal. Fruit is fruit, she thought, but her A1C levels kept climbing. Prediabetes turned into type 2 diabetes, all because she didn't realize that 1 cup of fruit in heavy syrup has more sugar than a candy bar. The beautiful thing? Fresh fruit is actually cheaper when it's in season, and frozen fruit with no added sugar is available year-round. Berries, mango chunks, pineapple, all frozen at peak ripeness with all the nutrients intact. Look, I'm not here to make you feel guilty about what's in your pantry right now. We've all made these choices because we thought we were doing the right thing. But knowledge is power, and now you know. Those 5 canned foods: soups, salted vegetables, tuna and salmon, regular beans, and fruit in syrup, they're not your friends after 60. They're working against your health in ways that add up silently over time. So here's what I want you to do today: go to your pantry, check those labels, and start making swaps, one at a time. That's all it takes. Your future self, the one who's still hiking at 75, playing with great grandkids at 80, living independently at 85, that person is counting on the choices you make today. Take care of yourself. You deserve to thrive, not just survive.